Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. For the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I have done videos where I've shown my top 50 cards in my collection. And this year I wanted to expand it, and I really wanted to show the top 100 items in my collection. And I say items intentionally because the breadth of what I collect is way more than just, your standard card. And so I wanted to try to show the top 100 items in my collection, which include obviously a lot of autographs. Where that comes into play is some of these things are insanely difficult to price. And that's true on cards and especially on autographs. And so is this going to be perfectly exactly what my top 100 is? Probably not. In fact, assuredly not. But there's some things I just can't price because I have no idea. Some things I'm guessing on. I'm doing my best. Regardless of where exactly in the rankings each thing would be, each item would be, it's going to be 100 really cool things. And I think through this, you're going to really see the spectrum of what I collect and what I love, and hopefully appreciate that. I certainly appreciate that about myself, that I'm not just one thing. I love that I'm a lot of different things, that I am baseball collector. I collect baseball stuff. And so this is just going to be fun for me to get these items out. My card room behind me is an absolute wreck from pulling all of these things out. So today's video is going to be 100 to 51. And then tomorrow I will show 50 to 1. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's look at some really cool stuff. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think down below. Here we go. All right, here we go with the first 50 items. I'm not gonna try to keep, I have them in order, but I'm not gonna try to keep track of exactly where I am or what values are. I may throw some things out there if they pop out to me as I show them, but bottom line is this is just some fun stuff. So here we go. 1949 Duke Snider. This I bought from Blue Jacket 66 many years ago now, and just to have a Duke Snider in my collection. This was from his collection, so to have something from him is, awesome. So Duke is number one on the last one. All right, here we go with the first thing that's going to show you guys the differences. So here I've got a government postcard signed by Jimmy Fox, XX the Beast himself. The auto is graded a mint 9. This is fantastic. It's got the, marks from going through the postage. So I have a lot of these that you'll see, government postcards. This one I love. What I love about these, and so many of us do, is they're dated. This is January 20th, 1941. So this is pre-World War II, or at least mailed, right? I don't know exactly when Jimmy signed it, but what a clean, perfect auto. And so people would send this off and then they'd mail it back. That's kind of how that worked. And so Jimmy Fox autograph, number 99. First of many T206 cards. As I've gotten into the pre-war world, I have been so scared of the Pandora's box that has opened, and yet I'm kind of going in slowly but surely into this world. This is Cy Young with a 3 MK from PSA, sweet cat back. There's a little mark. Somebody wrote 30 on there. I guess that's what they were selling it for at some point in the past. Maybe you just wrote your price on your cards. Then it's kind of interesting. But there's the Cy Young. Amazing how far this card is down in terms of just down on the list. 1968. Nolan Ryan. I don't upgrade very much. This is a card I would like to upgrade in my collection at some point, although it's kind of one of those things. I have one. What do I want to spend my hobby money on? Is it a card I already have in a higher grade, or be content with what I have and for now, I'm pretty content with what I have. That would just be a down the road thing. But yeah, there's Nolan Ryan, rookie Jerry Kuzman in a 3. 1951 Bowman Ted Williams in a 3.5. I like the 51s better than the 50s, 50 Bowmans, just because there's the nameplate. This is exactly the same as the 50 Bowman Ted Williams, except obviously it's a different size. It has the nameplate, and it includes clouds in the sky on the picture. They added some clouds for 51, but that's a great Ted Williams card. The first of many appearances for this guy, Babe Ruth, will be on the countdown multiple times. This is his 1932 Sinella Margarine, one of the most affordable playing days Babe Ruths that you can get. This is the variation where Sinella is at the bottom. There's multiple back variations, which can, gives it a different type. This is a PSA 4. I've had this a long time, and so glad I bought it when I did. I just saw it in a shop and couldn't resist, had to buy it. So I wish maybe if I do anything with this card, it'll be to get it re-frickin' holdered, because that's terrible. Thank you, PSA. That can be done way better. Way more better. All right. Next, Ted Williams. There's going to be a lot of Ted Williams, a lot of Mickey Mantle, lots of Babe Ruth, lots of Willie Mays. That's not going to surprise anyone, but here is a beautiful 1956 Topps. The reason this card makes the list is the grade. Not because the card is necessarily uncommon at all, but what a great image. That headshot is the same image that they use for several cards, for 55, 54. Yeah, there we go. First Mantle, 55 Bowman in a PSA 3. I've owned this card for a really long time. A lot of these are going to be older cert numbers. Most of these are cards I've owned for years and years, and so I was able to get them all when they weren't as crazy as they are today. But 55 Bowman, love this set. Love this set. Some people don't, but I do. Another set I love. How about Warren Spahn, 49 leaf. I wish PSA would do this right and put 49 leaf on it, but this is a PSA 4. This is a relatively recent pickup. I can't recall in the moment where I got it or when I got it, but it was I think this year, 2025. So Mantle's going to make the list. Here's a PSA 5, 1965 Topps. Again, on some of these, are they not overpriced? Are they higher up in the rankings than they probably should be? I don't know. I didn't vet all of these. I did on some of them and kind of double checked. I looked at some of them and I went, that doesn't feel right. And sure enough, some of them were lower priced than what it said on BCP. Some of them were higher, and so some of them I just didn't look. This is one of those. So is this accurately ranked? I don't know, but it's a great card nonetheless, and cool to see it. Next Mutual, 49 Bowman in a PSA 3. Just great image. 49 Stan Musial. All Stan Musial cards are awesome, and he has that gap where he's not in Topps until 1958, and so you kind of have all these early issues of Stan Musial, and then you get into the later Topps stuff, 58 to 63. But the color on this can vary dramatically on that purplish blue background, and the red here too. '56 Topps Jackie Robinson in an excellent 5. Again, some of these cards are here because of who the player is, or the card itself, or the grade. There's always a combination of what creates value, and I had to pick some reason to rank these cards, and value was it. because it's relatively easy to figure out. Some of this stuff was harder, but look at that Jackie. That's just gorgeous. Next up, Sandy Koufax, 55 tops. Rookie. Had this card a long time. Another one I'd like to upgrade at some point, but again, being content is important. And I am. I love my stuff. 49 leaf Ted Williams. Bought this at a Dallas card show a long time ago. And I remember just loving the eye appeal of it. Even with the tape marks on it, it just looked sharp, and the color was nice, and there, no creasing and stuff like that. I can live with the fact that some kid taped this into a scrapbook or something. Actually, it kind of adds to it for me. I love that character part, and that's a beautiful PSA 1. And then you say, well, how do you price something like this when eye appeal matters on the price, and how do you do that? And the truth is, I don't know. It's really hard. Do you add a percentage to normal PSA? There's plenty of PSA 1s that look way worse than this, right? In theory, this one should sell higher, but hard to know, hard to tell. All right, here's the first. You may be wondering what the heck. Kyler autograph on a little cut here. This is graded a mint 9. So autographs are so subjective. When you think about the value of an autograph, you obviously have to think about the player. You have to think of the medium that it's on, the clarity of the autograph, the grade of the autograph based on the clarity and the positioning and all of that stuff. Because people that are Hall of Fame autograph collectors, they may want a mint 9 because they're doing a registry, and that autograph grade is the determining factor on a set registry for autographs. So many things that go into it. The fact that it's on this list is awesome, and it even shows up where it does on my list is great because I get to show it, and it's so cool. Kyler, I love his autograph, and that's such a clean version, and it fits in a PSA holder. Really nice. So continuing on, another Mantle, 60 tops. My favorite vintage set, 1960 tops. I got a 4.5 here on this one, and just a clean, well-centered Mantle card. To me, the half grades usually happen because of centering. You're gonna, if you're between a 4 and a 5 and it's nicely centered, that's where I think you usually add in that half grade bump. I've seen that just through anecdotal evidence of looking at my cards and seeing that centering usually plays into that half grade as much as anything. This is the second time you're seeing this card on this list. You saw the one earlier, the regular 68 tops. This is the autographed version. I got this from Garrett Card Cutter. I don't know how many of these he's owned in his lifetime, probably a dozen or so, but he had this one and we traded for it, and it's got the Hall of Fame inscription. I love the placement of the autograph. The card's actually in way nicer shape than my PSA 3. This isn't dual graded, it's just authentic, but the card's actually in nice shape. And actually, once you get the hologram from the Ryan Foundation, you can't grade the card anymore. So if that's on there, they won't grade it. The card itself, they'll just tell you it's authentic, if it's real or not. Now you could grade the auto still, but can't grade the card anymore. So that is very cool. Love that. This is I know I picked this up this year because I know who I picked it up from. This is from George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards. He had this, and he had it for sale for a while, and I said, hey, if I get to the National and it's still available, I'm probably your Huckleberry, because Gretzky to me is the GOAT of hockey, regardless of who beats his scoring records and all of that. Plus, when I was a kid, he was just the great one. I mean, what else do you say? And I always wanted his rookie, and I didn't want to settle for a Topps. I really wanted the O-Pee-Chee because hockey cards should be made in Canada, and that just makes sense to me. So that's what I wanted. And so when he had this one and it was in a grade that I could afford, or wanted to spend, I guess is probably more accurate, then I was able to get this. And thank you, George. Here's another, oh man, I never get tired of looking at this. Government postcard signed by Jackie Robinson. I bought this at the 2018 National. And I remember that because it was my first National in a long time. And I'm sorry, that's not right. 2014 National. 2014 in Cleveland. Sorry. Julie was with me. I remember when I bought this, I walked away and because the dealer wouldn't come down to where I wanted, and I walked away, and I remember the dealer chasing me and said, okay, I'll do it. And so I was able to buy a Jackie Robinson autograph. Near mint 7 on the autograph grade. That's fine. I'd rather it be higher, but whatever. Here's the cool part about this. So it's dated August 26, 1955 is the postage date. August 26, the Dodgers lost to the Cincinnati Reds. Jackie Robinson went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. So to think that this was signed around that time, it was mailed August 20th. Again, we know when it was mailed. I don't know, or when it was postmarked. I don't know when it was signed, but that's probably pretty accurate around then. But he was 1 for 3 the day this was postmarked. And it was the year that the Dodgers won the World Series, the only time the Brooklyn Dodgers won the World Series. Does that make this more valuable, less valuable than your typical Jackie Robinson autograph? I don't know. Makes it really cool to me. There's my Jackie. Dallas Card Show pickup here. 1954 Bowman Ted Williams. I can tell you exactly where I was when I bought this, because when I saw it, and I saw the grade, but I saw the eye appeal of the card, I went nuts. So when you see a card like this, you pay that price or close to it, and you get that beautiful looking of a card. Why is this a 1.5, you may ask? Well, up here, it's almost like it was put with a paper clip or something somewhere. There's some little indentions, but again, arm's length, looking at the card, it is gorgeous. And I'll take a card like that in my collection every day of the week. That's the kind of card we all want. This is a card, obviously, that wasn't supposed to be printed. 54 Ted Williams was a Topps exclusive. And Bowman said, we'll print a card anyway. Maybe we can work something out with them. Didn't happen. The card got pulled in production, and Jimmy Pearsall replaced him as card number 66. But there's a bunch of those out there. It's not insanely rare, but it's pretty awesome. We just saw the Jackie Auto. How about a Jackie card? 54 Topps and a 4.5. Again, gorgeous card. Half grade for centering, I think, because this is well centered. I think this was one of the first vintage Jackie cards that I got. Super old cert. Old flip, but beautiful card. Love that one. This is a set I have always loved, and till recently didn't have any of these, but a 1964 stand-up. This is from the Grail collection that I did with Chris Sewell and John Keating. There will be many, many cards in this order, or this top 100, that are from that. That took my collection to a completely different level. And this Mantle is one of those cards that I kept from that. I kept several 64 stand-ups. Mantle is gorgeous. Graded this myself reasonably recently. It's got a 9 on the cert number. Love the stand-ups. Absolutely love them. I don't know how many 56 cards we've seen, but quite a few already. This one I've owned forever. 56 Topps Mantle in a 2. For many people, this is their favorite Mickey Mantle card. It's definitely up there for me. I love the jumping in the stands picture, the great smile on Mick's face. This is another one that would be an upgrade. This card would be another upgrade candidate down the road. Someday I may have everything, and then I just start upgrading stuff. Who knows how the collection journey will unfold. 1990 Upper Deck. Reggie Jackson. Chase the Reggie was the theme in 1990. This was the very first ever pack inserted autograph card that you could chase. Upper Deck continued this, and you'll see several others from Upper Deck later in the countdown, but this one numbered to 2,500. Very, very difficult to find, and absolutely love it. And I love all of the, I have all of the Upper Deck pack inserted baseball autographs that they did throughout the years. Again, several of them you will see on this countdown. T206, Sweet Cap, Dark Cap, Christy Mathewson. This will not be the last T206 Mathewson you see, but it is the first one, and this is in a good 2. Absolutely love that. This was the first T206 Mathewson I bought. Would love to own them all. I think he has 3. People will correct me down below, but love that. 1967 Topps, Tom Seaver rookie in a 4.5. This is an expensive card for several reasons. A, it's Tom Seaver, but mainly because it's a high number in 67, and the 67 high numbers are notoriously difficult. And so this has always been kind of an expensive card. Love the Seaver rookie. 1933 Gowdy Hack Wilson. This is such an iconic card just because of the image. You've got big Hack Wilson, you know, with the giant neck like that. Whoever the artist was did not do him any favors when they did this card. High demand card, people love it. There's not many Hack Wilson cards out there. He is a Hall of Famer, and so this is kind of the one to get. I have this in a PSA 4. Speaking of hard to get Hall of Famers, how about a Dizzy Dean rookie in a PSA 3? I bought this at the National a few years ago, and it's a 300 Great Cards by Mike Payne card. And it's a, again, I'm getting into pre-war now, so I'm glad I bought this when I did and was able to add it to the collection. Love 33 Gowdy, such a great and iconic set. Man, you just don't see these hardly ever. 1954 Wilson Franks, Roy Campanella in a PSA 3. Such a hard card to get. I almost never see these at shows, truthfully. I bought this actually in Las Vegas at the card show affiliated with the industry summit that was going on. We were out there with Chasing Cardboard, and yeah, totally was thrilled to buy this. This was a great card because I paid for it with blackjack winnings in Las Vegas, so it cost me no dollars out of pocket, just some of my winnings. So that's love stories like that, and love adding cards that way. And who doesn't love floating wieners on your baseball cards? Come on. This was a Burbank card show purchase several years ago when I went to the first Burbank card show, 1953 Topps. I bought it from Ash. It's technically Ash's son. I flipped for it. Like, again, when you have stories with cards of when you buy them, it just makes it so much more fun. This is just such a great card, such a hard card. Expensive card in high condition, or better condition, obviously, but a 1.5 suits me just fine. I'm just happy to own it. 53 Topps Maze. For many people, this is their favorite Maze card, and I get that. It's a great looking card. Man, I'm glad I bought this card when I did. 1948 Swell Sports Thrills. Got Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth on this card. Most dramatic home run. This is discussing when I think he called his shot. Yeah, Babe Ruth points. So there's a Jackie in this set, which is highly sought after. There's lots of actually amazing players featured in this set in Sports Thrills, and just very sought after card because of Ruth and Gehrig being pictured on it. T207, brown background, Walter Johnson and a PSA 4. This was another Grail Collection card. And love it. Not a lot of people like the brown background. I mean, that looks nothing like Walter Johnson, I don't think, but I like them. I think they're pretty great, and love having this one. Any Walter Johnson card in your collection is a good thing. I don't know if where this showed up on the list is accurate. I know what I paid for this card, and what it's showing up as a comp for this card is much, much higher than what I paid. I got this in a CIA auction a couple of months ago, and the reality is all Sandy Koufax on card, playing days cards, autographs are not cheap anymore. What he charges to sign is mildly bonkers, and to even have this and to get it for the price that I got it for, I was thrilled to death. And it's my only, at this point, Sandy Koufax playing days card that's autographed. Love the ballpoint pen. Shout out to Tony, Southern Collector. We're both fans of the old school cards being signed in ballpoint pen. More Mantle, 54 Bowman here in a PSA 3. Great card, great image, great set. I mean, so many amazing players in 54 Bowman. We already saw the Ted Williams earlier, but there's the Mantle. Need to make another stack here. Saw the Reggie earlier in 1991. Upper Deck had Nolan Ryan on a checklist card. Again, he signed 2,500 of them. They were pack pulled. The fact that this card is ranked higher than a signed rookie perplexes me. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I'm just going off the list and what VCP says. I'm doing the best I can. It doesn't matter whether this one's more than the rookie or not. It would be on this list either way. Such a great card. The comp on this is interesting. I don't know that it actually is accurate, but I'm glad to show it wherever it is. The 1946-47 Propaganda Montiel. Lou Gehrig just bought this in a rabbit hole auction not too long ago. I paid way less than what it says the comp is, and so it's kind of hard to, it would still be on the list, but it would be much lower. These are so hard. Comps on stuff like this, how do you comp it? They don't ever come up, and eye appeal matters so much on cards like this and what it actually goes for. And again, I'm just glad to own one. Lou Gehrig, my favorite player of all time. So next up, 49 Leaf, Stan Musial in a 2.5. Many people consider this one of his rookies. I do not, because it is really a 49 card, and he does have a 48 card that you will see here in just a little bit. But people love it nonetheless. Again, this is one where the colors can vary so dramatically on these Leaf cards based on when it was printed and all of that kind of stuff. So I liked the blue. I wanted to find one that was blue, had a certain amount of blue on it, and that fit the bill. When I bought this card, I had no idea what a good deal that I got. Mickey Mantle, last name in white, which is a variation of the 1969 Topps. His final Topps card here, and the white letters, the white name is highly sought after. This one's in a PSA 4 holder. It feels better than that, but I like the centering on it, everything, and this just such an iconic card. It's love that there are variations, and whether intentional or unintentional by Topps, it makes it fun to have different versions to go after. This next one's kind of a head scratcher. I don't know what to make of this, but I'm happy to show it. This is probably a card most of you have never seen or know that I own. 1999 Upper Deck, a piece of history 500 club card. I own this card because it's a 300 great cards card by Mike Payne. There's 2 cards from this set in that list, and the other one's the Babe Ruth, which I do not own. The Jimmy Fox here is great. A BGS 9.5 of this card recently sold for close to $1,500 on Fanatics Collect Live or Fanatics Live, whatever it is. And so these just don't come up. You can buy one right now on eBay in a PSA 5 for like 200 bucks. So is it an expensive card? Not by itself. I guess the 9.5, the Gem Mint status of it makes it, or maybe just people got carried away and irrational exuberance took over and somebody paid some crazy number, but that's why it's on this list. And where it is on the list, that is a comp. This card did sell for that in a 9.5. Love it. More Mantle 53 Bowman color. Got to give a shout out to JT Triple Crown 24 who found this card for me at the National. I've been looking for it frantically that year. This was kind of my target card of what I really wanted to buy. It was one of the last Mantles I was trying to secure to finish his run. I still need the 52 tops, but other than that, I have them all. And this was one I wanted to find, and this was a great. Didn't really know what grade I wanted to buy. This was just a good value. I was trying to, weigh price and condition, and this was it. Oh man, how cool is this? Roberto Clemente autograph. Again, how do you value something like this? This is a multi-signed piece from an autograph album. You've got obviously a huge, bold, beautiful Clemente autograph there. You've got Bob Veal, who's a great pitcher for the Pirates as well, and Gene Alley on the back. So this is obviously a page from an album, and it's my Clemente autograph in my collection, and it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. It actually, to me, brings more provenance to the item if there's other people on it. For some reason, it just feels like, you may fake the Clemente auto, but are you going to fake Bob Veal and, Gene Alley on it? Probably not. So it just lends more to the authenticity and doesn't, to me, take away at all from the beautifulness of that Clemente auto. So here we'll set, put Roberto, since this is such a huge item, we'll just put it back there. Huge in terms of size. How about Willie Mays, 1958 Hires Root Beer. This was part of a collection that was a Chasing Cardboard, and I kept quite a few things out of it. There were 2 Hires Root Beer cards in it, the Mays and the Aaron, and I sent them both off to be graded. This one came back a PSA 4. Of course, it's missing the tab, but I actually like it. I mean, I have the tab, believe it or not, somewhere around here, but it wasn't attached when I got the card. But this was going to be the design for, I think, either 56 or 57 Bowman. This was in their hopper of, they did continue Bowman after 1955, but they didn't. And so Topps used it, because Topps printed these, and used it for this Hires Root Beer set. Great set. Love the knothole look. Just such a great card. Another one, very difficult to price, and looked at where it is and where it was. Here's Larry Knapp Lajoie autograph. Some of these kind of iconic players their autographs are just going up because people realize, Knapp Lajoie has been gone for a long time, and there's only so many of these. And this beautiful ballpoint dated by him. This was very common for Lajoie to date his autographs when he would sign stuff through the mail. November 4th, 1955. So that's pretty cool. How about a 48 Bowman? Now here's a rookie of Stan Musial. The Leaf and the Bowmans we saw earlier, 49. This one is, to me, Stan Musial's true rookie card. This is in a PSA 4. I think a lot of people are actually realizing that, and they're, so that is such a cool card. My wife just let Norman in, so you just heard her talk. He was stuck in the garage. So love this card. Great image. Classic. This is another this year purchase. I love it when my card collection continues to evolve, continues to grow, continue to add different sets, different cards that I've always wanted to own. You know, once something gets checked off the list, you can move on to the next thing, and that's how I do it. This Hassan triple folder. You've got 3 Hall of Famers here. You get 3 for 1. Hugh Jennings, Ty Cobb, and in the middle, of course, Ty Cobb sliding. So just an absolutely fantastic card. PSA 1, kind of irrelevant. There's that one.
That's a cool looking card, honey.
Thanks, babe. It's in the top 100. So, all right. 1954, Ernie Banks, PSA 4. I've owned this since, I think I bought it in 2018 or 2019. I bought it the same year that I bought my Hank Aaron rookie, which you will see later. And I remember buying this card and thinking I was nuts, but not anymore. Ernie Banks rookies. This is notoriously off center, this card, top to bottom. The fact that I have any border on the top is okay with me. And just, it's a very clean card. These also have a tendency to have a lot of snow on the center of them. This one's very clean. Love it. We just saw the Hassan Cobb. How about a red back Ty Cobb? Portrait, T206, Sweet Cap, 350. The PSA 1, don't really care. This was a Grail Collection keeper as well. And knew it was going to get a 1 when I sent it in. Did not care. I have a Ty Cobb red back. So, yeah. Green back is definitely, oh yeah, all the Cobbs. I'd love to own all 4 of them from the T206 set, and hopefully someday will, but I'll never forget. You never forget your first, right? All right, we are coming down to the last 4 cards in this top 50. How about 1964 Topps Mantle? Not a tough card to find, but in a 7, it starts getting pricey. And so that's why this card, I bought this in a card shop in Wichita, Kansas, believe it or not. Again, some of these things I remember, some of them I don't. But this card's been in my top 50 since I bought it, basically because of the grade. And kind of high grade mantles, feels like there's always a market for those. Love it. Another national purchase here. I walked up to a booth, and this was in Atlantic City a few years ago, and the guy had an entire showcase full of 93 SP Derek Jeters that were signed. And I remember calling Garrett and doing the math, because this card was $2 grand-ish or so. And I remember thinking, God, that just feels like a lot. But then I was talking to Garrett, and we're like, hey, what does he charge? Well, at the time, he was charging like $1,600 for an autograph. And then you have the Hall of Fame inscription, you know, tack onto that. It's already dual graded, tack onto that. And I thought, that feels about right. I actually don't think this card is worth that much anymore. And I don't know that it will stay at that level just simply because Jeter's still alive. He's young. He'll be signing these for a long, long time, meaning there will just be more and more of them over time. But to have it, I'm just excited to own it. It's a Derek Jeter Hall of Fame rookie on an iconic card, right? All right. Go from one iconic Yankee to another. 39 play ball Joe DiMaggio rookie card. Not a rookie card. Who am I kidding? He's got cards earlier than that. Worldwide Gum, 38 Gowdy. Those are cards I'd love to own. But this 39 play ball is definitely awesome. This was a Grail Collection keeper also. Look at that. Such a clean 2. This was relatively, it was graded last year basically, so is that too harsh of a grade for this card? Maybe. Don't really care. Glad to own it. And last but not least, for this first half, if you've been with me this long, you're pretty awesome. Sorry I ramble, but it's just fun to talk about cards. 52 Bowman, Willie Mays, and a PSA 3. That great image. Second year Willie Mays. All right, stay tuned, guys. For tomorrow, I will show the cards number 50 down to number 1 in my collection. Have a great one. Thanks for watching. Keep collecting.